Hey YouTube, people keep asking if I have any tips for beginners, so I figured I should make a video to link to when asked in the future. I try to keep this pretty basic, basically just the things that would have been helpful to know immediately when I started playing. Most of these fights can be won with an empty board. Viper is the only one that will kill you before Sandstorm if your board is empty, and so even if you start with a Companion Core or a Dock Lines, you don't need to find a weapon to win your day 1 encounter. Importantly though, for the Kyber Drone fight, the insect over here, you do need to make sure that your board is completely empty or you have some extra damage, otherwise they will be able to scale off of their slows and just barely win in the Sandstorm. For every day other than the first, you get 8 XP. It takes 8 total XP to level, so if you want to level before each player encounter, you need to find 2 extra XP. After that first 2 XP, you need 8 more before it gets you any extra bonus going into the player fights, which effectively means the first 2 XP that you get is worth as much as the next 8 extra that you find. Knee Brace is a really powerful item, but none of the things that it does are obvious. Normally, since the day starts right after the player fight, you need to have Knee Brace on your board, griefing your cooldowns to get the bonus 100 HP. However, if you're 1 XP away from leveling going into the player fight, the day doesn't roll over until after you level, so you're able to put the brace in while you're leveling up, taking the selection in order to get the bonus HP. The other, and probably main use for Knee Brace, is to increase the cooldown on your items before applying a percent-based cooldown reduction effects like Insect Wing or Feather. When Knee Brace comes off your board, the amount reduced by the CDR item isn't recalculated, and you get to take 6% off of a 4-second cooldown instead of a 3-second cooldown, giving you a bunch of extra value on your CDR effects. This also works in reverse, somewhat counterintuitively, where you want to take out effects like Silencer, which reduce the cooldown of your items before using Wings or Feathers as well. It's not clear exactly what the math on that is to me. It's something about how values are snapshotted, but just know you want to put in Knee Brace, you want to take out Silencer. Items that reduce their own cooldown when upgraded also have a sort of built-in Knee Brace. Virus, for example, loses 7 whole seconds on its cooldown when going from silver to gold. If you take 9% cooldown off the Virus, it goes to a 10.9 second cooldown, and then when upgrading it later, it goes all the way down to 4.9, effectively making that wing a 20% cooldown reduction. If you do this a couple times before upgrading, you can make these items incredibly fast. Shop odds. I'll have a link to the table in the video description, but basically, shops roll the rarity of each slot before they roll the item, and if you have a card, shops will only give you that card and the rarity that you were already holding. This might change in the future, but right now what this means, if you are holding onto a bronze item on day 10 or later, you will never be offered an upgrade or a higher rarity version of the item in the shop. You can do some cute stuff like hold on to some bronze tool items that you don't care about early so that when you go to a tool merchant later, the silver slots rolled in the shop are more likely to give you an item that you're looking for, but generally that's pretty low impact, and it's mostly just important to know that it gets harder to upgrade bronzes as the game progresses. This is less of a mechanic quirk and more of a gameplay trick. Please don't be like the guy on the top here. These free skills are really high priority pickups for Dualies and Vanessas, and if you only have 1 item with a cooldown on your board, you are going to get destroyed. Simply having a cooldown is really valuable right now, and I will commonly play slightly worse items just to have more cooldowns in play to make the opponent's CC less consistent. Lastly, Halbazar is an incredible resource. It'll be linked in the description, and if you're wondering what a certain enchant does on one of your items, how an item will upgrade, or what the various PvE fights in the game have on their board, Halbazar's got you covered. Anyway, hope this was helpful. See you around.